Okay, so now the back. Okay, so you can see here I'm about to rub the oil into my hands. You never want to squirt oil directly on the person. As I said earlier in the first section of the course, my most horrible experience. Never just put oil directly on their back like a hot dog. You want to get into your hands. Now, if it's cold, you definitely want to get into your hands to warm it up as well. All right, so here we go. So you see here, I'm about to put my weight, I'm leaning forwards. I am putting my weight just leaning forwards there. My weight here is really into the heels of my hand as I come around, and then I sit back, so my weight comes back into the back foot, and watch this, right around those shoulders. Don't cut the corners on those shoulders. Come right around to the front of the shoulders there. So here my weight is into the heels. Nice, broad, beautiful pressure, just squeezing all the old nutrients out of the muscles, loosening them up. So remember, these are introductory strokes, but they're still, they're not sort of wishy-washy. These are real strokes. When you come up to the base of the head, don't go up into the hair and get the person's hair oily. It's horrible. So finish at the subocciput, the base of the head. Now, look at this, soft fist. Now I'm using this part, the flats of the soft fist here. These thumbs are either side of the spine. So if the spine's down the center, these are either side in the gully, okay? And the sort of the gully. So what that's doing is guiding me as I go down, all right? Remember, I'm not using muscular effort. I am using my body weight as I go down. And then I'm coming out and back up. And again, my weight goes back when I go forward, just like when you throw a stone. Your weight goes forward on your forward stroke, and then you come back onto your back foot. Same thing. So what we've done the hands, now we go fist, then we can go forearms as we get more and more pressure. Go deeper levels. You see it's beautiful and slow. Checking with your client, just when you're practicing, how's that pressure, everything okay? So come right down, and I come right at the top of the hips there. Start to get into that lumbosacral fascia, top of the hips there, glute medius, glute minimus, a little bit through there. And you see that? And then when I come back, it's almost just coming back, like I said, when you're throwing a stone. Now, got to do double supported hands here. You see where my fingers are, like I told you. So now I'm where my top hand is, so that means I'm putting more pressure through those fingers. I'm using those to palpate, feel if I can feel any tight muscles I go down through, any knots, any sort of tight fibers, giving me a better understanding of where I'm going to work more. So it's exploratory. Now, get your weight right down. Bend those knees as we get the fist. Make sure you're not going to clunk over those bones between the scapula and the neck there. You want to go through, and you can see there, as I'm using the flats of this flat bit here. And again, you can use your hand as a guiding hand. You can, if you've got weak wrist, you can use it here to help support your wrist. So what I'm doing now, I've done both sides, and now I'm concentrating on, Liam's left side. So then I'll go left side, then I'll go, so we're focusing on the one side at the moment. And you'll see as I go through, when we're going to, just as sort of a connecting stroke, I'll do just some little fanning things, and you can do that as well, whether it's throughout the course, I do sort of hand over hand, this sort of thing, to break up, just to give it a different input to the nervous system. So we've got your fist or forearms, that sort of thing. And in between, it's just like, hey, this is all great. Just gives the body a rest. So you can see here, I've gone up through there. Same thing. Don't start up like halfway along so at the base of the neck there. Get in. You've got to drop your knees down. You can just see me, I'm asking Liam if that pressure's okay. Check in with your client. But like the fist, get down and then come up on that shoulder blade, right up, hook that trapezius muscle, and then work over. So you're going, if this is the shoulder, you're coming up and then onto the back. So you see, I'm just blending that with those little strokes. Here we go. So once again, so this, as I say, this because you've got your best palpation through your pads of your fingers. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll support that. And not only am I going to give lots of nice pressure coming through here, but I'm also collecting information as well. Where's it tight? Do I feel any lumps and bumps? Tight muscles? There's any spasmy muscles? These sorts of things. Okay, so I'm going to use fist. You see how I drop my weight down and then push up with my legs to get up there. So my legs are driving this. It's not that I'm standing there and I'm working that like that. Not at all. You can see my elbows, you know, there's very little movement in the elbow because now I'm almost on tippy toes to get the weight over and down. But I am not lifting my shoulder up like that. So you see now I'm just using my hand just to keep it in control, guiding the way down through there. So you'll also notice, I'm just, again, you just see that, you just do that, between that gives you ready. Now look how low I get. Same thing, gonna come up, up, slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. See that, I've just slowed it right down. That's the area, you know, that where you just love to get it. So we're getting to that trapezius, up onto the rhomboids, levator scapulae muscles. Sorry if you don't know your muscles, but as we do that, and then you can see my hands down, so I'm not worried about banging bones, bone on bone, because I've just got these flexors all involved. You see there, you can just grab hold of it just to help. You can have your hand around the forearm like that, whatever you feel comfortable. Experiment what's easiest for you. Now you see as I get lower here, see how my body's off to the left of his head there. So you can get down further like that. So you can make a couple little steps and that will take you further down, especially if you're small and you've got a bigger person. Just walk your way to the side there. Right, so we've done both of those sides now, and now we're going to work the lower back. Now look, I'm almost sitting down in a chair, the feeling of. So my weight just goes back and I sink it down. So look, up and over, again, not with my shoulders up, just relax. And then look, I lean back. And I'm getting through all these lower back muscles, all of these quadratus lumborum, erectus spinae, getting that lumbar sacral fascia, a little bit of glute medius minimus at the tops of the hips, and then just look at that, my arms are straight, I'm just leaning back. And then when I go forward, you're just leaning forward. Now we're coming up. Okay, so you can see where I'm putting my pressure. It's really that central part. I'm going to do a nice broad maneuver, but I do have some work going on through my fingers. Now look, I'll bring my fingers into play a little bit more. See that? As we come round. So we hook those fingers around, coming up over the shoulder blade. Remember, everything is driven from your legs and your body weight. If you find yourself standing there right at this position doing this and all this movement in the arms, you're doing it wrong. So I'm leaning over. You see Liam sighing there. Good sign. When a person's sighing, it's just a big release. It's feeling great. Now just going up and over the shoulder blade, the medial border of the shoulder blade, and just coming down. So now we're going to work the shoulder blade. Same thing. Hands, whether it's supported sideways or maybe it's one on top of the other, depending on how big your hands are and that sort of thing. So but you can see I'm hooked in. So they are supported. I am hooked in like that. So it's not apart. So whether it's on top, whether it's together, they're hooked in. So now you see I'm grabbing my thumb and we're going to come down. Again, nice and supported, nice and controlled, working over all the trigger points and all the tight muscles in the infraspinatus, teres minor, the muscles on top of the shoulder blades. Now just mix it up, little fanning. Now make sure when you do that, you lift up over that medial border. Do not go clunk into the side of that scapula. So you see that. Just a couple of there. And the other thing that prepares you to bring in the next stroke as well. I like to sort of hide it beneath them. So it's like fanning, dung, dung, dung. And when that last hand goes away, out of sort of nowhere comes the fist or the forearm. So you can see that once again. Hand down so you can get over that medial border. And then if you want to, you can bring it up. Bring the hand up once you're on top of the shoulder blade. But you don't want to clunk again on the side. So right out to these attachments here, they're out of the side of the shoulder. See, I'm going right to the edge. So just working around, again, not cutting corners, just going, really working that whole shoulder there, coming up around the neck. So we've addressed like 2 hands down along the back and around. Then one side, hands, fists, forearms. Other side, hands, fists, forearms. Then we go to the lower back. Okay, and now what we've done is I've swapped sides. So we're going to do the other lower back, well, the other side of the lower back, not that they've got two lower backs, but the other side, exactly the same sequence. So it's super easy. What you just did on one side, we're repeating on the opposite side. So look at me, just sit back there, it's just, and your body weight, it's just, your hands are just following. So same thing, see how I go up to get up and over, and then all this extra body weight up high gives me more drive. And then drop down low and pull back. So you can see even this, my hands were still locked together and now I put them on top. Always, virtually always supported. So you can see this pace. And again, once you feel it, if you have any doubts like I did, once you feel it, you just go, oh my God, this is just drift you off to sleep. So see that now I'm getting my fingers going across. If you know your muscles, supraspinatus, top of the upper trapezius, supraspinatus, just hooking my fingers in, getting a little bit more depth into that supraspinous fossa there. So come round, see that, coming round the angle of the scapula, Liam's sighing again, and then we come through there, right around. So we're getting right back into the axilla there, the armpit. Here we go. So at times I'll just do a little, what is it? So it's not vibration, because it's not so much, that'll be vibration, but a slow vibration, if you will, until for lack of a better word. So you just do that. It's a little just mobilization technique as you work through. It's also a little bit of a distraction technique. It feels nice. Okay, so same formula. Supported hands. Then we go, now it's time for deeper work with our fists, soft fists, and then the forearms. Stick with that formula. You can't go wrong. You do that anywhere on the body. Virtually anywhere. Like not the head, of course, or the face. But you can see, so you've got a very easy system to work with. And then intersperse it with that. See how I follow up? So I do that as a distraction, but it also feels really nice. And then all of a sudden, there's the forearm. We were just ironing out these muscles. Now you see there, my hand's pretty much down, so I'm not worried about that, the spine of the scapula, the ridge, if you will, if people don't know their anatomy. So the bone's not clunking along that spine. And it's all flexors hitting it there. So again, just doing that fanning, what I call fanning, hand over hand, whatever you like to call it. And as we come around, giving a bit of love to the neck, so you're connecting everything. You see? So we connect. So we started two hands, then we got the right side, left side, then connect the lower back. So and then we're connecting it all together as we sort of do separate sections and then connect it together, like this now. A perfect example. So you see what I'm saying? So you work one side, then you work the other side, and then you'll bring it all together. So this is simply what we did at the start. So you can see it's really easy to remember, which is why I've done this. So you'll be able to start doing this massage very quickly, very competently in no time. Now, here's actual use of the thumbs, but what's the difference? So if you're going to use your thumbs, have them side by side to support, just like the hands, side by side, whatever it is, what are you driving, if you're going to use them, or one on top of the other. So you can see I'm side by side here. If you've got problems with your thumbs, you can leave this out. You could absolutely leave this out, but it's not a problem for the thumbs because but if you had got small thumbs or you're smaller body, weaker, and you got a very big client, leave this out. Just go back and do another couple of runs with your forearms or soft fist, whatever. So you see that coming down between the shoulder blades and coming out along that supraspinatus. Big problems with those supraspinatus with impingement syndromes. Now, once again, so this is going to do the rhomboids as we go through the spine. So from the spine, not on the spine, but this left side of the spine, and we're going along those rhomboid muscles. So if you don't know any of your muscles, then what we're just doing is going from the spine at about a 45-degree angle, which is along the length of those, so we're lengthening out those rhomboids. But if you just remember from the spine, it kind of just go 45-degree angle to the medial border of the scapula. So we're just working there. And now connecting the neck to the rest. We've done a heap of work on the back. Now just doing some kneading. And you can see my hips moving, even with just a small. So we're moving across. It is not no movement, all muscles, not at all. So once again, we're just doing some nice, just fanning, hand over hand movements. Again, it's just different sensory information for the nervous system, but everything feels safe. The pressure's not too much. There's no tensing up. Liam's not tensing up. So if your client's tensing up, or, well, certainly if you see a change in their breathing, more rapid, it's generally meaning they're having to try and deal with the pressure. So in other words, you're too strong. So, nice little occiput finger circles there. And now we're going to start addressing down the upper arm there, the triceps. We're going to work the forearms supine, face up. But we're doing some really nice work at the back of these shoulder blades here, all the attachment sites of the rotator cuff, as we're just going to work down and start giving some love to those tricep muscles. And a lot of people don't really do much with the triceps, which is unfortunate. So you'll see here, so it's going to work down, so I'm going to come down, drop my weight into that axilla there, drop my weight down as we do nice slow work along here. Now, if, by the way, you're worried, oh, wait, you're not going towards the heart with the one-way valves, all this sort of thing, don't worry about it. Small sections like this will make no difference at all. You know, like all your strokes should be towards the heart. Well, if that was the case, you'd never do kneading, would you? Because kneading, one hand's going the opposite way. It's the majority, okay? And certainly, you know, when it's legs, things further away. But yeah, don't be afraid to go down the opposite side, the opposite way, away from the heart, for certain small areas, that sort of thing. So you see here, so just sink, see, I just sank my weight down there. Get more pressure, just drop my weight. And really look at really slow, getting this lovely myo. All this fascia from the shoulder comes out and connects through here. So it's really nice to get this nice, pulling of this fascia, working out restrictions. Same thing, now we're going to go up. So now I'm going to use this right through here. If I want to, I'll turn my hand. With Liam, of course, I don't need to use that much pressure. Bigger person, I'd have the hand this way if I needed to put more weight in. So now we're connecting the shoulder with the tricep again. So we work the tricep and just sort of connect it again. So these again, just like sort of strokes, are just after you do that deep work, just to give it I'm going to put the arm back up there. Now we're going to repeat exactly the same on the opposite side. Just what I showed you before with the thumbs, with the kneading. So once again, it's really easy. Once you've got that sequence down, you're going to repeat it on the opposite side. What I was going to say is you could do some work on the forearms there in this position. I'm going to do lots of great work with them face up, but there's nothing stopping you with their arm, like after you have the triceps, you could do some work. Same thing, supported hands with the arm back up on the table. Hold the wrist, use your fist, hold the wrist, use your forearms. By by all means you could do that, but as you're going to see, we do lots of work with the forearms with them face up, so they're not going to miss out at all. So you can see there's no thumb circling, there's no thumb over thumb. The thumbs are static as we just support them, whether it's, I said to you, whether it's by the sides, whether it's like, even if it's like this, but they're getting support, they're not on their own. And one on top of the other to get even more pressure. And so it's just so nice because you're just leaning. You are just leaning the time. You're leaning back or you're leaning forward. So you're conserving your body, you're conserving your energy, and at the same time giving an absolute to die for massage experience for your client. So once again, we're kneading through there. And we do a lot of beautiful neck work. Well, I do. And so as you're about to see, so this is really just a bit of introductory work just to get, again, to connect it. You know, we've done the lower back, we've done the shoulders, doing the arms, doing the shoulder blades. And so, let's say it connects from the base of the spine to the top. It just connects everything really, really nicely. So again, when you're doing this, you want to just drop your weight down, driving through. If you're new to this or you've got a new person that you're practicing on, so you don't have to keep asking them all the time, is that, you know, you're looking at signs of, are they rapidly breathing? Obviously, if you see any tensing of the muscles, you have to ask, is that too much? Because they're not doing you a favor if they said, no, that's fine, and they're having to grit their teeth. So here, you can see the angle of my arm. It's forward. It's not back behind me. It's not even vertical. It's forward, so we're driving through the legs again. Driving through, and then up it goes. And then to go up the shoulder blade, I'm going to use my legs to go up, as opposed to use this poor supraspinatus tendon and do this and wear out your shoulders. Slowly, slowly, slowly going down there. So you see that angle there, the upper arm again? So my right hand, by the way, is just at the, just holding on to the elbow, just below the elbow there. So I say, this is just repeating one side to another side. So once you've worked out how to do one side, which is dead easy to remember, again, don't worry if you, as long as you know, okay, I need to do hands, fists, forearms. Again, you don't have to, but as long as if you keep that pattern, then you go, okay, do the lower back, and you don't have to do exactly the same number. I don't want you to do the same number. I want you to make this organic, and that's what makes massage fun. So you're not doing all the same strokes, exactly the same cookie cutter, because it's boring for you. And of course, if you've got weekly clients, it's like, oh, we're doing the same thing again. Okay, so now we're reconnecting everything again. Right the way around, reconnecting everything, just the way we finished, the way we started. So you can probably see that, but my pressure is all on the base of these hands here. And you see no sharp angles, nice angles, no sharp angles at the wrist there. And now bring my weight back to the back foot as we come back, and especially here, come back and drop down.